Gentlemen, ladies, Sandamtod here, back again. Went out shopping. It's Saturday. Did a little bit of a reconnaissance mission to a few places. Went to the pawn shops. Didn't see a whole lot that wasn't too pricey. I almost bought the HD trilogy for Prince of Persia, and I'm like, I already have all three of them. They're just not HD. And I was like, they wanted like $15 for it. And I was just like, man, I don't know. I'll pass. If it was under 10, maybe I would have bought it, but you know how it is. Anyway, I'll probably throw a little bit of a game review on here at the end because I beat a game, but I'm going to show what I got real quick. If I don't sneeze, I feel a sneeze coming on. Maybe it'll go away. Anyway, it's pretty nice Saturday, out running around. Looks like Vintage Stock is going to be having a Memorial Day weekend kind of buy two get one on their used DVDs, Blu-rays, video games and accessories, you know, all that jazz. They do the same. It's always the same deal, and they do it about every holiday weekend, so that's cool. I did get one thing today at Vintage Stock. I went into the one in Liberty because I was out running an errand out in Liberty, and didn't see a whole lot. They had rearranged some of their stuff, made their retro sections even smaller. I mean, they barely have half of one side of a shelf for, you know, they don't even have half a side of a shelf for anything anymore that's earlier than the like the Dreamcast and stuff and the Nintendo 64. It's like they'll have, you know, two sides of shelf you walk between, and it'll be divided down the middle, and there'll be like half of that side is like Genesis stuff, and not only Genesis stuff, but Sega CD and Saturn, whatever they got. They only had two Sega CD games, Prize Fighter and Sonic CD, and both of them were the ones that are in the sleeves, which I actually have copies of both of those. In the sleeves, well, do I have a Sonic CD? I think I have Sonic CD in the sleeve. You know, they did have the instructions books with them, but they didn't. They wanted too much for them. I think like $10 or $12. I was like, forget that. I also noticed in their case they actually had a Sega CDX. They wanted $139 for it or something. And I don't know what all it came with, and I don't think it came with any games. And I'm like, I've got you know, enough Sega CDs. I've even got an emulator on my computer that'll run the Sega CD games off the, you know, it's the disk drive. So it's like, I'm not going to break down and buy that just so I say, oh, I got a CDX. But I did buy one thing there. I was browsing around, and we had just done our Atari games and stuff, and I had shown some, and I said one of the ones that I had gotten way back in the day, my very first game that I kind of picked up when I bought my first Atari, and they happened to have one in box. Even though I had one loose, I decided to go ahead and get it, and I'm going to peel the shrink wrap off of it, but it was $4, and that is Solaris. This is a game I talked about getting. It was kind of one of those strategic games where they had like a kind of it almost looked like a checkerboard type of screen, and it would have enemies on it, and then you would have your spaceship, and you would fly to the different areas and clean them out, and pick up, I think, like Defender style, you would pick up little men and try to destroy bases, and then you would go back and refuel your ship at your waypoints and stuff. There's the shrink wrap off of it. It's got a little bit of crushage right there, but I don't even know if it has the directions because it was shrink wrapped, like I said. So actually that feels more like actual cellophane than shrink wrap. I actually think maybe it was brand new. That's kind of cool. It looks pretty damn crispy, and that definitely doesn't sound like the normal shrink wrapping that they have on their stuff. Looks like it came with all the stuff. Hey, maybe it was brand new. I don't mind that I opened it, of course. It's okay. But I was just kind of surprised. Yeah, this sucker looks spanking new. No scratches on the label, no peelage, nothing. The cartridge looks black. and nice. No dust in it. Yeah, so I'd say it was brand new. It does have the instruction book, which is kind of a sepia tone, kind of monotone-ish color. It's not even really a book. It's just kind of a fold-out type of thing with no real staples or anything. But that's kind of how, when Atari kind of tried to come back into the market and they were releasing games, when they see, this is 87, you know, they didn't spend a lot of money on packaging and stuff. Everything kind of was about the same color and the same kind of look and things like that. So anyway, yeah, it was complete. $4. I'm happy to have it, especially in the box. That's pretty nice, and it was a brand new copy, so kind of brings back those childhoodish memories for me of buying it. I remember I bought it at a they don't have this store anymore, but it was called Best. It was kind of like a Target or something, but it was called Best. Not Best Buy, just Best. And it's kind of one of the places I very first saw the Nintendo Deluxe set with the robot. They had a big plastic kind of marquee with the, you know, it looked like plexiglass, where they had it all kind of set up inside, and you couldn't really even play it, but it was set up inside. So, anyway, we picked that up. And then I went to a Savers and picked up a couple of things here. One of which is this game right here for $3, and it was complete. It's for the GameCube, and that is Crazy Taxi. Now, I have Crazy Taxi for the Dreamcast, but for $3 on the GameCube, and it was complete, I thought it was worth picking up again. The disc looked nice and everything. Looks almost brand new. I don't even see any scratches on it. The directions aren't dog-eared or anything, so it looked really nice. So for $3, I was like, okay. They also had a copy of Mario Kart Double Dash, but I already have Mario Kart Double Dash, and so I didn't see the point in paying another $3 to own a duplicate copy. So those were the only two games I picked up today. And I probably spent about, I don't know, I think I spent about $23 at Savers, and then I spent $4 on that, so under $30. I picked this up because it looks a little more industrial than the one the guy gave me with my game. I picked up a Wii steering wheel for $3, but it's got like this extra kind of thing that snaps over the controller to make sure that the controller doesn't fall out, and it's got the buttons, and it's got window here for the lights to light up, and it just felt more heavy duty. I don't know, and I was like, I don't know, it might be kind of cool to, I think you hold it like this, actually. I don't know exactly. I don't know which way you hold it. Feels more comfortable like this, so maybe that's the deal. And it's got a different button on the back for where the trigger button snaps in. So they also had a gun that was a Nyko brand accessory for a gun that was still in the packaging and everything for, I think, around $3. But I was like, I don't really want that. I don't have any gun games yet, and maybe if I pick up Dead Space or some of the shooters, like I don't know, I think House of the Dead, and there's a few other ones, I'll pick up one of those gun accessories maybe. But I don't know, this just looked pretty cool to me. It looked a little more industrial than the cheap little game stop wheel that I had gotten. So I went and picked it up. I was like, $3, no big deal. And then here is the piece de resistance, for those of you who speak French. I think that means piece of crap. No, I don't actually know. This looks like it's got a little, looks like somebody painted with this plugged into the outlet and painted the part of the plug-in on it. It's kind of funny. But here's the plug-in, and you see what I'm saying? It looks like somebody painted or was painting something, you know, like it was plugged into the outlet, and somebody painted the outlet thing and just left it plugged in. It's pretty funny. But it's an official cord. I'll probably just get that paint off there with some Gugon or something. And then I have the brand name adapter for it. This might give it away what it is. I actually got this for $15. I had no reason to buy this at all. I have two slim models and two of these chunky models already, so I went and picked this up, and there's one sole reason why I picked it up, and I don't even really know why, because I don't know what I can actually use it for, but I picked up a Model 1 PlayStation 2 for $15, and this is why I picked it up right here. And that is it has an HDD hard disk drive, PlayStation version hard disk drive attached to it. And I don't recall what games actually required you to have the hard disk drive. I think there was a couple role-playing games that you had to have it for some reason, but I really don't recall. But I know you need it for modding. I don't know that I will mod this or what I'm going to do or look into it. I am actually going to Wikipedia some stuff or look online and see what games actually required that hard drive. But for $15, it did come with those two things. And actually, it came with a controller, DualShock. It is wired, but the buttons were all in good shape. None of them were sprung or the triggers felt like they were fucked up or anything like that. So I was actually kind of happy about that. And then, like I said, I actually have already plugged this in and checked it. It's a model 50,001, I think. The one I have running in the background right now is a 39,001. It works fine. But this one's a little newer. What are you doing, kitty? Dia's wanting to be in the action. Okay, that's enough. Get down for a minute. I'm going to finish this video, hell or high water. I turned the little deal on there so I can put it in the vertical stand. I'll probably take the place of the 39,001 that's over there. But like I said, it does have the HDD. You can see, I don't know if you can see, but it does say HDD PlayStation on the back, and it has the spot for the Ethernet deal, and it still has a sticker on there. I was actually kind of stoked. It looks like it's never been actually opened because the sticker's still on here and it's not peeled up back or cut. So it looks like nobody actually ever got inside this. So that's pretty cool. I think most of them I've actually kind of checked. I ran a lens cleaner through it, and I added a little bit of lube to the teeth on the thing that feeds the door in and out, just to make it run a little smoother. And I tried to dust it off. The only thing I was having a little bit of a hiccup with getting it. The controller port and the memory thing worked fine, but this is a stand that I was using. It's one of these infusion platform stands or whatever that's got like the four-way playing, so you can plug 4 people in at once, and also 4 memory cards in. And it was having trouble picking up the memory card and the controller when I plugged it in. Maybe I just didn't have it pushed in all the way, but I don't really use this that much anyway, and I do have an official PlayStation stand platform, one of the purplish ones, and I'm thinking I'm just going to put it on here. Like I said, the actual memory slot for the memory card in the first one and the controller thing worked fine, so I don't know why it was just having a bit of a hiccup reading the memory card out of there, and it wouldn't let me move the controller around. So anyway, I thought that was pretty exciting. I don't know why, but basically I didn't need this, but like I said, I saw that HDD on there and I was like, I'm going to get it. And then I went over to Vintage Stock and was looking around, and I saw in their cabinet or in their display cases, and they had set up a bunch of different models, and that's why I saw the CDX and stuff. But they had a PlayStation 2 in there, and something makes me think they wanted like almost $50 for it. And all it came with was exactly the same stuff I have right here, and they wanted $50 for it, and I paid $15 for this, and it came with the HDD attached. So, pretty excited. So anyway, I'm going to sign off. The cat's wanting to get back up here and get some lovin's, right? And so we'll get out of here, folks. Hey, folks, this is kind of a quick epilogue on this Sony PS2 that I bought for $15 that had the HDD connector adapter on the back. I'm trying to use like a wand to light things. But if you look really closely, you can see in there that there is a hard drive in there. You can kind of see the barcode on it. I opened it up, and it's a 40 gig Maxtor drive, which I read that Maxtor was one of the brands that Sony used, so, and 40 gig sounds about right. But it won't initialize or show up at all, and I don't have the Sony HDD utility disc. And you can hear it when you turn it on, that it'll access it, or try to. Hear that kind of little clicking that I'm talking over? So it tries to access it at one point. There is a jumper in it that's set to the second set of pins from the left. I don't know if that really means anything or whether there's supposed to be a jumper in there. But basically I can't access the drive for anything. Although I don't really know what you use it for anyway. And then what I read online was you can do like a soft mod or something using Action Replay Max and a PlayStation disc, which I downloaded most of the stuff for it, but I don't have Action Replay Max for the PS2, and I'm not sure I want to pay $20 for it just to install HD Loader so I can play you know, burned off or ripped copies of games I already own that I can just play off the CD. I mean, you know, I don't know. From what I saw, all you could do was install games off the disc. You can fully rip them, but install games that you already own. I don't know if you can put ROMs on there. And even if you can, I mean, there's not a whole lot of PS2 games that I don't own. Except a few really expensive ones that I would maybe want to install on there, and, you know, technically that's not, you know, legal, and I haven't downloaded any ROMs for the PS2 or anything, but I mean, there's games like, Rule of Rose, and, there's, what's the other one that I'm trying to think of? Well, Okami's not overly expensive, but I wouldn't mind having Okami for the PS2. I was going to get it for the Wii, but I heard the PS2, it's a little easier to control. And I don't know. I mean, there are a few horror games that I want that and stuff that kind of are a little pricey. But Rule of Rose was the one that I was mainly thinking of that's almost, you know, $80 for the CD or whatever. So, anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I got to go to work. But there is a hard drive in it. It's 40 gig. It's a Maxtor drive. I just can't figure out how to access it. And if I do a soft mod, it's only 40 gig. I'd probably put a bigger hard drive in it. I heard you can put up to like a 250 gig hard drive in it. Depending on the model or whatever, and I don't know. I suppose if I was only putting a couple games on there, but I suppose if I could rip games off that I own, I probably would put some on there so I wouldn't have to get them out all the time, excuse me. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, what's the real point? So, I don't know. It's just kind of a novelty thing. So, anyway, I'm signing off. Talk to you later. Bye.